Ninjago has been a beloved franchise of many since 2011, spanning three main series: LEGO Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu, LEGO Ninjago, and LEGO Ninjago Dragons Rising. Alongside these, there are also several books, shorts, and movies that contribute to the official LEGO Ninjago universe. Before diving into the main focus of this discussion, Jay Walker, let's quickly go over some main background information. Season 1, Rise of the Serpentine, we're introduced to the core four group, the ninja: Kai, Jay, Cole, and Zane. They train under Master Wu to protect Ninjago from the ancient evil serpentine groups. Serpentine groups. They uncover the tribe's plan to release the Great Devourer, a massive snake that threatens to destroy the city. And through teamwork, bravery, the ninjas prevent the catastrophe and solidify their bond as a team. Season 2, Legacy of the Green Ninja. Lloyd, the son of the evil Lord Garmadon, who also released the Serpentine from the tombs, but we forgive him, discovers his destiny as the Green Ninja, the prophesied savior of Ninjago, who will faithfully fight his father. He faces challenges in accepting his role and contends with his father's dark legacy. With the help of his friends, Lloyd embraces his destiny and defeats the Overlord and his father, who sought to conquer Ninjago. Season 3, rebooted. Ninjago is at peace. Well, we have 20 more seasons to go, so they're not at peace. So now the Overlord takes a digital form and creates robotic enemies created in the Overlord's digital form. The ninja battle to prevent the Overlord from taking control of Ninjago's technology and turning it into a digital dictatorship. I can't believe I said that out loud. The season explores themes of identity and balance between technology and humanity. And spoiler alert, Zane the Ninja dies, and he's also a robot. Season 4, Tournament of Elements. The ninja are invited to a secret tournament where they face off against other elemental masters with unique powers. They discover a plot by the villainous Klaus, who seeks to harness the tournament's power for his own gain. The season delves into origins of elemental powers and the importance of teamwork. And for reference, Zane also is alive again after dying. Season 5, Possession. The team faces Moro, a former student of Master Wu. Moro seeks revenge. No, he doesn't. Moro seeks to release the... No, he seeks revenge. He seeks to release the preeminent, an ancient evil spirit realm. I don't know, freaky stuff is always happening. But the ninjas must confront their fears and work together to stop Moro and save Ninjago. Oh yeah, and Nia, who is Kai's sister, is the water ninja now. And it's more or less just Nia that really saves Ninjago this season. But anyways, Season 6, Skybound, is personally my favorite season ever. The ninja battle Notakon, a djinn who uses wish-granting powers to manipulate reality. He seeks to rewrite history to his advantage, and the team must navigate the complexities of wishes and fate to thwart Notakon's plans. And when I say the ninja, I really just mean Jay, but we're gonna get to that. And Season 7, Hands of Time, which also is... The intro in that season is just my favorite, personally. Well, my second favorite. And in this season, we meet the Time Twins, Achronix and Crux, and they manipulate time and alter history and create chaos, and the ninja must travel through time to stop them and restore the timeline. The season explores the consequences of tampering with time and the importance of preserving history. And Season 8, Sons of Garmadon, which is the start of one of the truly best parts of Ninjago, the quote-unquote Oni trilogy. Trilogy, and coincidentally when the art style changes. But in this season, the team faces the Sons of Garmadon, a criminal gang aiming to resurrect Lord Garmadon, who sacrificed himself in Season 4, Tournament of Elements, and they uncover a conspiracy that threatens the stability of Ninjago. And this season delves into themes of legacy, redemption, and the impacts of your past actions. Season 9, Hunted, the continuation from Sons of Garmadon. The ninja are trapped in the First Realm, a mysterious and dangerous world, and they must navigate its challenges to find a way back home. Meanwhile, Ninjago City is facing its own threats as Lord Garmadon rises into power. Season 10, end of the trilogy, new season, March of the Oni. And the Oni are an ancient evil beings that existed, well,
long before time had a name.
Anyways, they invade Ninjago, threatening to destroy everything because they are evil. The ninja must unite to stop the Oni and prevent the apocalypse. The season explores the themes of sacrifice and unity as they fight against overwhelming odds. Season 11 is the start of the second series, just Lego Ninjago. While it is the same timeline, Season 11, Secrets of Forbidden Spinjitzu, is technically 2 seasons, Fire Chapter and Ice Chapter. Anyways, the ninja discover the forbidden Spinjitzu techniques and face Asphira. They must confront the dangers of these ancient powers and prevent Asphira from using them to conquer Ninjago. The season delves into the origins of Spinjitzu and the responsibilities that come with power, just like in Spider-Man. Season 12, Prime Empire, another season I love. The team enters a virtual world to rescue Jay, who is trapped in a video game by the villain Unagami. They navigate the game's challenges, which lead to Jay's confronting Unagami's plans. The season explores themes of reality, identity, and the impact of technology. Season 13, Master of the Mountain. The ninja explore an underground kingdom of Shintaro, facing an evil skull sorcerer. What? They face the evil skull sorcerer. Sorcerer. They face the evil skull sorcerer and his minions, and they uncover the kingdom's dark secrets and fight to free its inhabitants. By inhabitants, I mean slaves. The season delves into the themes of courage, leadership, and the fight against tyranny, and it mainly focuses on the ninja cult. Season 14, Seabound. This season just exists to break my heart, but anyways, Nia discovers her true elemental powers are related to the water. Well, she is the water ninja. Are related to the evil serpent Wajira, just like the serpent, but she must embrace her destiny to protect Ninjago from the ancient threat. The season explores themes of self-discovery, heritage, and the balance of nature. Yeah, and then Nia dies, for reference. Season 15, Crystallize. The ninja must confront the return of the Overlord again, and he is now known as the Crystal King, hence Crystallized. And he assembles past enemies of specifically Lloyd and mainly the ninjas to conquer Ninjago, and the team must unite to stop the Crystal King's plans and protect their home. The season is mainly about redemption, legacy, and the power of unity, and is overall pretty awesome and a amazing finale for the OG Ninjago series. And Crystallize has my favorite intro of all of the Ninjago seasons. Season 1, Dragon's Rising, which is really just season 16. It's the same timeline. And in this season, the ninjas face a new threat as the realms merge, leading to chaos and the rise of dragons, and they must navigate this new reality and protect the balance of the merged worlds. Season 2 is a continuation of Season 1, and the ninja meet and confront the Forbidden Five, a group of powerful elemental masters, threatening the stability of the merged realms. They compete in a tournament, much like in Season 4, and they must unite to stop these formidable foes and restore balance. Season 3, we are still dealing with the Forbidden Five, and the ninja race against time to prevent the awakening of Thunderfang, a legendary chaos dragon that the Forbidden Five want to awaken. They must locate some prismatic blades and stop the Forbidden Five from unleashing the destructive force. And after all of that, we are officially caught up and waiting for the next season of Dragon's Rising. Of course, this summary doesn't even contain half of the Ninjago lore, If I talked about all of it, we'd be here for hours. But understanding the premise of Ninjago and what the ninja have been through segues into my main point, Jay Walker, the Lightning Ninja, and how he fits into all of that. Not only is Jay the Lightning Ninja, but he is the most overlooked ninja in Ninjago. Frequently, he is just boiled down to the weakest ninja, the comedic relief, and the crybaby. And when people say this, it just really makes me wonder if they actually watched the series. Because, like, that is totally overlooking his entire character and what he has been through. And just once more, he's being boiled down to just Jay having a normal life, unlike the others. Now, let's talk about that. Now, yes, Jay Walker is the only character with loving parents, as Kai and Nia's parents abandoned them at an early age. Cole's mother died and he was left with an unapproving father. Lloyd's dad is literally the master of destruction and the embodiment of evil. And Zane is a robot with a father who dies twice. So yeah, Jay does have that going for him, but to be fair, it's also not exactly normal to be abandoned as a child and raised by your adoptive parents in a junkyard. His adoptive parents being Ed and Edna. And because he doesn't have some super traumatic past, emphasis on past, him being the first ninja to learn spinjitzu, the first ninja to use his elemental power, first ninja to use Cyclone Do or Air Jutsu, it's pretty overlooked overall. And in season 1, Rise of the Serpentine, the ninja are learning to unlock their true potential. And this may be biased just because he's my favorite character, but Jay's episode of learning to unlock his true potential is definitely like one of the best. It's my favorite. And for one to unlock their true potential, one must overcome their mental block. And in Jay's case, his mental block was hiding who he truly was. And from the start, it's pretty evident that Jay is embarrassed of who he is. For reference again, he grew up in a junkyard, and not to mention his parents are like super embarrassing. And him lying about who he is and where he came from was mainly just leading up to his true potential. And in addition to that, it was his crush on Kai's sister Nia throughout this season that kind of led up to his true potential. He's frequently trying to be someone that he's not for the approval of his comrades, especially Nia. He has a crush on her. And not only is he just embarrassed of where he came from, but he is ashamed. And Jay, being one of the smartest ninja, who is like mainly in the earlier seasons, the team's inventor, mechanic, engineer, and welder, finds himself being ashamed that he learned his skills from growing up in a junkyard or scrapyard, whatever.
Hey! A compact converted jiggly compressor! Oh, great find, kiddo! I'm starting to think they're just making this stuff up.
Inevitably, the moment Jay unlocks his true potential is when Nia tells him that she likes him best when he's himself.
Whatever happens next, just remember, you are the best you. What's happening? My true potential.
As throughout the episode, he's trying to be someone else to impress her, and him learning that she likes him best when he's himself isn't exactly a lesson that he sticks with for the rest of the series, but that temporary overcoming of his embarrassment was able to project his character forward and fight alongside the ninja in their battles for the next few seasons. And season 2, Legacy of the Green Ninja, Jay isn't the Green Ninja, so he played more of a supporting role in this season, and his supporting role endeavors, he and Nia are officially together, and all is well. Yay! That is until season 3, Rebooted. Don't even get me started on Rebooted. This season, the writers thought it would be a genius idea to incorporate a love triangle into the plot. And just on the surface level, yeah, it was a stupid decision. It makes me pretty mad. But, like, truly the love triangle really does set up Jay's character development for the next 3 seasons, so who am I to complain? But basically, a Nindroid tells Nia that Cole, who is Jay's best friend, is a perfect match for her, which Jay obviously does not take this well, and it leads to the falling out between him and his best friend and him and his girlfriend.
It's so quiet in here. What did I miss? Another signature Jaywalker gutbuster?
You backstabbing no good!
And I can see, like, why they did this, like, but I don't think they did a good job at all. They could have written this so much better. Nia has her reasons as to why she likes Jay, such as, like, his honesty, his loyalty, his smarts, and her reason for not liking Cole is that he's not Jay. It's just very evident that they didn't really plan this out, and Cole really doesn't like Nia, and they just wanted to write something in there. In addition to losing his best friend and his girlfriend, Zane goes ahead and just dies a horrible death. He literally just explodes in front of Jay's own eyes as Jay's being held back in an attempt to save him. Season 4, The Tournament of Elements. The ninjas have disbanded due to Zane's death, and Jay is seen as an actor, and honestly, the scene is really depressing. Which would obviously be representing some kind of depression. But the scene opens up with him smiling on TV, happy and acting, and then off stage, off cameras, he's immediately frowning while looking at old photos and muttering, "Ninja never quit."
I got farther than last time!
Ninja never quit, huh, Zane?
The team needs you now more than ever.
After that, Lloyd attempts to get him back on the team together, and he refuses to join the ninja because he does not want to work with Cole or Nia ever again. So the scene was just a back-to-back reminder of how he lost Zane, Cole, and Nia, some of the closest people to him. And we have a whole season ahead of us, so inevitably he joins the team for Zane. And they are fighting in a tournament of elements where Cole and Jay have to face each other, a deliberate setup to make tensions worse. And the fight starts very aggressively, but it turns into like a more vulnerable moment for both Cole and Jay, where Jay just really reveals how much it really hurt to lose his best friend and his girlfriend. And yay, they start to make amends. Yay, the next 2 seasons focus on Jay's road to his mental recovery between Zane coming back to life because he's a robot and making amends between Cole and Nia. All is well. Season 5. He and Nia learn teamwork after finding out that Nia's the water ninja, and she saves Ninjago and kills the preeminent, and all is well. Well, that actually isn't entirely true. In Season 5, Possession, Jay looks into the future and sees him and Nia together. After that, leading into Season 6, Skybound, my favorite, he just starts being a bit more cocky about him and Nia being together, which just kind of like domino effects for the rest of the season. On one of their missions, they were on their way to stop Klaus, the villain from the Tournament of Elements, and he says the words, "Me and Nia are just having one of our fights," and Nia takes offense to that and refuses to take Jay's hands because she is a ninja and she does not belong to anyone. This is kind of straying from Jay again, but go Nia. Like, since she became a ninja, all she has been facing is just criticism and sexism, being referred to as the girl and whatnot. But her not taking Jay's hand leads to them being swarmed by the media and they are unable to stop Klaus. Granted, they didn't really know what they were stopping Klaus from, but they still failed. Klaus gets his hands on a magic lamp, known as the Teapot of Tyran, with not a genie inside, but a djinn. And he's literally evil, to say the least. Like, what's worse than an evil djinn? An evil djinn pirate. And he's just evil. He's evil for fun. He shapeshifts into the ninja and frames them for crimes and gets them arrested. And after they break out, they have to stay undercover to figure out what is happening. They were arrested for crimes they didn't even commit. and the Jin who, let's call Narukon, because that's his name. Anyways, Narukon gets Jay alone, and guess what Jay does? You will never guess what Jay wishes for. He wishes that he wasn't born in a junkyard, and he wasn't poor, and he wishes that he wasn't poor so Nia would like him mainly, so he could support her. And the season really just snowballs after that. And I think mainly the season going kind of downhill for Jay after that is a representation of his true potential and how he really didn't stick to overcoming his mental block. But anyways, after Jay wishes that he wasn't poor, he immediately finds out that his father is dead. He rushes to his parents' house, or his parents' junkyard, and he finds out, yeah, his father is dead, but he's also adopted, and his biological father just died. And despite elemental powers being inherited, I really didn't see it coming with his parents not having elemental powers. But yeah, his real father just dies and he gains his inheritance, and he uses another wish to try and figure out what's really going on, meaning who his father is. And side plot, his father is a famous actor named Cliff Gordon. Anyways, and Jay he decides to keep this all a secret. He kept the secret of Narukon's wishes, meaning Narukon's evil, conniving, manipulative wishes. He ends up only telling Cole, and due to that, Narukon manages to capture Master Wu, Kai, Zane in some kind of mystical blade by manipulating their wishes. And after they are captured, Cole reveals his secrets to the rest of the team. And this part kind of makes me a little mad. Like, yes, I completely agree. Jay was wrong not to tell the guys about Narukon, but I don't really think they were acting much better. They ignored it when Jay said himself that he was adopted, but no, let's keep resentment and anger and hatred against this guy who just found out he was adopted and his dad's dead. But, you know, like, what else doesn't he know? And they damn treated him like a madman and a stranger. Like, even Cole, who was his best friend, just telling him, oh, shut up, stop talking, and just betrays him practically. Like, all I'm saying here is that they're all on the same side. So why act like this? They go and they try and retrieve Tiger's Widow Venom. And they send Jay in there to do it alone because they're holding resentment against Jay for this. And they sent him to get the Tiger's Widow Venom alone, which is the only thing that can take down Narukon, which is also extremely super duper fatal to humans or Legos. I don't know. But that's just kind of crazy. Anyways. Yeah, he manages to save the Tiger's Widow. He manages to save the Tiger Widow. The Tiger Widow's Venom. Yeah, he also gets kidnapped by Narukon in the process, and it really just keeps snowballing after that. He gets tortured by Narukon and his crew. For a show about Legos, like, in the show it was already pretty dark. They played a game called Scrap and Tap, where they were just beating powerless Jay till he fell unconscious multiple times in this episode. And, like, to the point where he has to wear an eye patch. Like, that's pretty notable. And not only does Narukon physically torture Jay, he also mentally tortures him by reminding him of his parents who abandoned him, by reminding him of his best friends who betrayed him, and just casually bringing up that Jay's personality on the inside is truly all an act. And deep down, he's full of anxiety and just makes jokes to mask that he's weak and afraid. And if the Ninjago universe weren't full of Legos, we can only imagine how much darker the season could have gotten. And even though he still tries to find ways to communicate with his ninja comrades and warn them of Narukon's plans to take over Ninjago, even through that, he managed to do that. And there was an attempt to save Jay and take down Narukon again, which it was a semi-fail, the ninjas ignore Jay's warning about the wishes, and Lloyd ends up getting super old and says Narukon will be defeated by words from the heart, which no one can figure out what that means because he turned old. And I don't know, that might be important later. I don't know. Who knows? And anyways, Lloyd and Cole get trapped, and it's just Nia and Jay left. That is until Narukon comes back, because, you know, when you're an all-powerful djinn, guess that's what happens. And, oh yeah, did I mention that Narukon's plan is to marry Nia to get infinite wishes? That, crazy, right? It's even crazier that he wants to marry her because she destroyed his homeland, Ninjago, by destroying the preeminent. And because she looks like his dead wife, well, dead ex-wife, Dalara. That's just a casual day in Ninjago, I guess. And before Nia is captured, she and Jay have a very heartfelt conversation about how Jay is the only person Nia has ever truly loved. It was beautiful, right? Embarrassingly enough that this scene genuinely brings me to tears when I watch it. But anyways, Jay escapes through the Traveler's Tea, which is just a thing in the Ninjago universe that makes you travel. And when he traveled, he ends up back at the junkyard in which he was raised. Which, it feels kind of random, but knowing that they used Traveler's Tea, it implies that he was thinking of his parents, which is pretty sweet. And he talks to his parents, Ed and Edna, about everything and how all the ninja are gone. And he comes up with the plan. Jay decided to make a new ninja team, which perfectly captures his leadership skills in this season. And it finally showcases how Jay is canonically one of the smartest ninjas in the series. And Jay successfully steals the blade with his new ninja team formed of old allies from past seasons. And great news, Jay gets his teammates out of the blade. Yay! Bad news, Narukon marries Nia, and then all of the ninja die. And when I say die, like, they for real die. Like, Nia dies directly in Jay's arms after being hit by the Tiger Widow. Oh, don't do this to me. By the Tiger Widow venom. And as Nia dies, Jay whispers, "I wish you took my hand and no one ever found that teapot." A wish truly from the heart. And you know what? That wish literally reverses time. No one is dead anymore. And that's how he saves the day. That's a crazy ending, but truthfully, it was pretty emotional. And I can only imagine all of my friends dying in front of me, the love of my life dying in my arms. But then, yeah, no one remembers Skybound at all. It's just a part of a lost timeline. And the only outcome was a traumatized and still adopted Jay Walker. And only Jay and Nia remember.
I wish I wasn't born in a junkyard. I wish I wasn't poor anymore and could give Mia everything she wants.
Your wish is yours to keep.
I never wished for this, Dad. I didn't want it to be true. Now it's up to me. Me alone to stop the wedding and save the world. Just one guy against the djinn and his entire army. Sorry to inform you, but your father has passed. You have inherited his estate and lots of money.
Know who just nominated themselves to extract the Tiger Widow's venom?
In my defense, I did just find out my parents are not my birth parents. Nothing? Really? Nia, take the poison. I promised you I was gonna protect you, and I'm a man of my word.
Oh, Jay, this is the reason.
The reason for what?
The reason you're the only one I've ever let into my heart.
I wish you had taken my hand, and no one ever found that teapot in the first place.
But yay! He and Nia are together now. They will live happily ever after. Or not, who knows. Anyways, Hands of Time is a very Kai-focused season with minor J parts, but nonetheless important, which also has one of my favorite intros.
Previously on Ninjago.
Like, probably top 2. No, it is my second. Anyways, throughout the season, Jay is worried for his parents when they are in trouble and shows a lot of, honestly, like, badass technology and lightning skills when saving his parents, and it's really awesome at the beginning of the season, but then slowly the Skybound effect slowly starts kicking in. Slowly in the season, Jay struggles more and more, especially with leadership, and by season 8, Sons of Garmadon, the rest of the Oni trilogy, Jay kind of just loses importance and sort of is only used as comedic relief. That is mainly up until season 9, Hunted, when the ninja get Traveler's Teed again, and this is the part where his behavior starts to make a little bit more sense, as the ninja are kidnapped by dragon hunters in a different dimension, the realm of Oni and Dragon, and Jay is the only calm one. All the other ninja are freaking out and afraid after they have been kidnapped, and Jay literally just has no reaction out of it the whole time. If that's literally not disassociation derived from a traumatic experience, then I don't know what is. And soon after more torture, Jay, quote unquote, snaps out of it and realizes he needs to help his teammates. And Jay is primarily the reason they were able to escape their captors in season 9. He tricks them into thinking a dragon has escaped, and inevitably they are back in Ninjago. But Jay's psychological torture does not stop there. Upon returning to the Ninjago, the Oni take over Ninjago and release the evil frogs. No, they don't. They release evil fog that just stones you. And by some chance of fate or by writing, Cole falls into the fog, which Jay, despite it not being anyone's fault, blames himself for not being able to save Cole, just as he was unable to save him in the original timeline of Skybound. Before, it didn't happen. And with the power of teamwork and the all-powerful tornado of creation, they defeat the evil Oni. Cole's back, and Lloyd dies. That has nothing to do with Jay, besides, his friends dying, but I just wanted to highlight how much these characters die. Like, you wouldn't believe how much Zane is going to sacrifice himself. We literally see a scene with Lloyd in the afterlife talking to, the god in Ninjago. But it's Ninjago, so he comes back. Anyways, Jay proposes to Nia through the yin-yang promise with the help of Kai, and that concludes Jay's character development for the original series. Yay! Time for season 11. Time skip. The ninja are looking for adventure, and Jay and Nia accidentally unlock the evil serpentine, or just serpent, Sphera, from her tomb. Aww. Yeah, Jay and Nia did that. Yeah, but Jay obviously is the only one who gets backlash for it. Nia, not at all, no. Jay frequently has just been the butt of the joke and the scapegoat character since Skybound, and while he was the comedic relief before Skybound, he wasn't, literally the joke, and, that's just kind of a common theme that has been happening with his friends making stupid nicknames for him, like Motormouth and Zaptrap, just to make fun of him for his jokes and talking. But during the seasons of the Fire and Ice chapter, Jay really doesn't have any plot progression, besides a few laughs. But yay, Jay finally gets a break. That is until season 12, Prime Empire. Genuinely, you couldn't guess what is going to happen in this season. You couldn't. It's important to mention that growing up, Jay played a lot of video games. It's even mentioned in the later seasons of Dragon's Rising how good this guy is at video games. And anyways, moving on to Prime Empire. Prime Empire is a video game that you literally enter. You literally walk into it. Yes, he would. He goes missing for a bit, but then the ninja enter the game and find out he just kind of became some kind of like god and leader in the game. He kind of starts a cult, I don't know. But in this season, Jay is frequently saving the day and defeating evil dragons and winning dance competitions and races. So much fun. That is until the threats get more direct and serious and is no longer in a game format. So, yeah, this villain, whose name is Unagami, goes ahead and kills everyone except Jay. He once more watched Nia. He watched Nia die in front of him for a second time. And it's important to mention that Jay doesn't really save the day with violence. He doesn't find a way to save Nia and his teammates with violence, but he solves it by talking to Unagami and figuring out why he is doing this. He and Unagami share their past experiences about their parents abandoning them, and Unagami stops being evil and revives the people who died in the game. And
You're angry. I get it. You were abandoned by your maker. I was abandoned by my parents too. I'm just like you. I never understood why, and I never had the chance to even ask. But I always hoped there was a good reason. What if there's a reason?
And it's really interesting how frequently Jay defeats villains with words and emotional intelligence instead of violence. It's pretty awesome compared to the other ninja. And season 13, Master of the Mountain. A Kobe season, once again, where Jay only really has small roles that don't really affect the plot that much. I mean, besides him and a random lady fighting for Jay's love that ends with Nia being the queen of an enslaved race called the Munces. Yeah, that ends. Anyways, season 14, Seabound. God, please no. Please, God, no. Don't do this to me. Please, no. This is mainly a Nia-focused season with Jay as a supporting character again. They find themselves stranded in the middle of the sea with Nia. Nia's even more in the middle of the sea, and her life is on the line, and they are all in danger. So Jay, despite being told by Lloyd and Zane not to try and recharge the battery because he would die immediately, proceeds to risk his own life by powering the battery that supports Nia's oxygen. And they end up living. Jay, he makes it out of that alive somehow. It's insane how much electricity he would have to take for that. But after that, they end up battling Wajira, the powerful sea serpent. And I mean the powerful sea serpent that almost kills Jay by drowning him and getting seawater into his lungs. It's really impressive that he didn't die from that. But while Jay is dying and Wajira is winning, Nia decides to merge with the sea, meaning she just kills herself, basically. She just sacrifices herself. So she does end up saving Jay by pulling the water out of his lungs. And for the first time in all 14 seasons, and all the 14 seasons he and Jay have been together, this is the first time Nia verbally says, "I love you," before dying. And Jay is just begging Nia to come back, but she's already gone and merged with the sea. And she's not Nia anymore, which technically she's not dead, but she's... They have a funeral for her, she dies. And this is the third time Nia has died in front of Jay, which ultimately and obviously leads to a very evident depressive episode. This bleeds directly into season 15 after success and Nia's death. Season 15, Crystallize, which, hold on, this is my favorite intro. all 15 seasons, I love this intro the most. But Crystallize is where, in the beginning, Jay is totally isolated, and he has been isolated for well over a year. And after the death of Nia, he lives in a lighthouse in the middle of the ocean. He's deranged and disheveled, and he spends all of his days painting photos of himself and Nia while talking to glasses of water and referring to them as Nia. Which, honestly, if my wife has died 3 times and I couldn't save her, I'd be a little deranged too. And after a whole year of isolation and depression, he is convinced to join the ninja again, which leads to a huge fight with Kai over disagreements on how they took Nia's death and whether they should be a team again. And both sides were pretty reasonable, as no two people can react the same to someone's death. Kai wanted the team back. Jay didn't think it was right without Nia. And the whole Jay talking to glasses of water thing, he actually did end up being right about that, as Nia manifests herself through a glass of water. And honestly, beautifully enough, Nia is able to resurrect herself because of her love for Jay. It beautiful. And in this is the final season of the OG Ninjago, and they all come together with a jump up, kick back, whip around, and spin, and all of their allies. And in season 15, they defeat evil once and for all. That is until Dragon's Rising season 1. Because what would Ninjago be without a little bit of angst each season? Season 1, it's still the same timeline, by the way. We are introduced to new and younger characters, and we find out that the ninja have been separated through an event called the Merge for years. And it is an important part of the storyline that all the ninja come back together and they're able to weave their way through the Merge and fight new villains. And yeah, except for Jay. All of the ninja get to come together except for Jay. And towards the end of the season, we find out in a short cameo that Jay has been working, quote-unquote, for the administration, and now goes by Agent Walker. Oh, but the ninja find him, right? And we all live happily ever after. Wrong! Jay has completely lost all of his memories and has no recollection of how he even got into the administration. And blissfully unaware of Jay's state, the plot moves on to the Tournament of Sources, where we do find Jay Walker. We find him manipulated by one of the main villains in Dragon's Rising and fighting on the evil side. And this is where the ninja find out that Jay has no recollection of them and is willingly evil. And he puts on the evil shattering mask, which, I kid you not, just shatters your goodness. And while Jay is activating his evilness, Nia manages to get ahead in the tournament and win. Which honestly sucks for Nia. I mean, she has to fight her husband, who doesn't even remember her. And after a while, for the second time in the entire series, all 18 seasons, multiple 3 books, the movie, the 4 shorts, she tells Jay that she loves him for the second time. And Jay, whose goodness has just been shattered by the evil mask. That sounds so ridiculous. Anyways, after his goodness is shattered by the evil mask, he looks her dead in the eyes and tells her that he will always hate her. And after his loss, his master, i.e. the evil villain who manipulated him, abandons him, which is honestly really sad if we look back on Jay's life, because in so many aspects, like in his life, there has been abandonment, from his bio parents to his fellow ninja in multiple seasons. Jay finds himself alone. Of course, Ninjago still isn't over, but this leads me into a couple of theories about Jay's memory. Theory 1. It's literally just him having a head injury or some kind of injury from the Merge. Through the animation, we can tell that the Merge was a pretty, strong storm that had lots of heavy winds that caused people to get lost. So it's pretty reasonable that Jay took a hard fall or hit his head and caused his amnesia, 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 am, amnesia, amnesia, causes him to lose his memory. Theory 2, and honestly, this is one of my favorite theories. It's that Jay deliberately went into the administration, because we all know that Jay is canonically a genius, and so he deliberately went to the administration in search of ways to find his fellow ninja, and this can be proven through him being the head of reassignment, where they find lost people. But the the memory loss theory kicks in, where we remember that the administration is in the realm of madness, the realm that turned this normal guy, Lord Garmadon, into this freaky guy with 4 arms is a direct result of the realm of madness. So yeah, the realm of madness does some freaky stuff, and knowing Jay has been working in the administration for at least a few years, this theory is not totally unbelievable. And the third theory, and it's kind of one of the darker theories of Ninjago, but it's that after the merge, Jay found himself so lonely that he erased his own memories, which honestly isn't insane considering knowing that Jay canonically in the show has a history with depression and anxiety, and once again he is experiencing this theme of abandonment. But speaking of abandonment, Jay is abandoned once again in the tournament. He goes missing again, because why not? Just let him go missing, he's alone again. And through season 3, the plot is divided between finding Jay, finding Aaron, one of the new ninja, and finding this and finding that. The first episode is literally called The Missing, because everything's gone missing, I guess. And in this season, we find out that Jay is now a rogue ninja, or he's just rogue, and he no longer performs tasks because ninja never quit. He performs them for money, good or evil. And personally, during the season, I felt a little silly because I had no idea that Jay was the rogue ninja. I thought it was some huge reveal in the last episode. Like, the reveal brought me to real tears, but yeah, no, after opening Tumblr and TikTok, it just became clear to me that I just wasn't thinking. I just should have known the whole time, I guess. But I realized that it was Jay during one of his rogue missions where he gets tangled up with the ninja. At this point, they really don't know who he is, and he doesn't know who they are, till he shows off his lightning powers. Yay. The reunion? What is a reunion? The reunion is bittersweet as Jay only accepts their help and goes with them as he is pretty injured, and he refuses the affection of his wife, or ex-wife, and his best friend Cole, which sucked, yeah, but one detail that I really did love was Jay's inventions. At the start of Ninjago, Jay was the inventor of the team, as we know, but after the events of Skybound, the roles kind of just traded off to Nia and Pixel, which, sidetracking again, Pixel and Jane are genuinely probably the best couple in all of Ninjago. I love Jay and Nia, obviously, but just I start like kicking my feet and giggling every time Zane and Pixel are on the screen. I love it so much. But back to Jay here. Another detail that I loved in this third season about his like progression as a character was his wings that he used to fight in season 3 and get around. Because his wings were a direct parallel of his teenage self who could barely get a pair of wings to work, which was honestly great. It showed off how Inventor Jay is back and he's growing. It's pretty awesome. And I can't say detail. Another detail I just love about him is his versatility in weapon usage. Jay is probably the only ninja that is seen using more than one weapon throughout the series. And another reason for this is that Jay, his elemental power is lightning, which is very hard to control. And I mean, how do you cage a thunderstorm? So it's understandable that he wouldn't want to use lightning frequently. And multiple times throughout the series, you will see the other ninja handing their weapons off to Jay, just knowing that he knows what he's doing. So when people label Jay as just the comedic relief or the weakest ninja, it's pretty obvious that they missed his character development and the depth behind his character. On the surface, yeah, I guess Jay might seem like the Joker, who's always cracking jokes and doing jokey things and getting into silly situations. But if you really dig a little deeper, you'll realize that Jay's story is actually one of the most emotionally complex in all of Ninjago. From dealing with abandonment and feelings of being less than others to confronting his fear of not being enough, Jay's emotional journey often feels just as heavy as the battles that they will fight. What really sets Jay apart is how he deals with those struggles. He's not defined by his powers or his past. Rather, his empathy and vulnerability behind his emotions, those are what shape him into the leader and the character he became and he is. And in a team full of all these strong personalities and defining traits, Jay really is the glue that holds the team together on an emotional level. He's the one who can bring levity. Oh, I can't read. Levity in the darkest moments, and he is also the one who knows how to sit with this pain, process it, and continue moving forward. Jay's arc is often overlooked because it's not flashy or dramatic as some of the other ninja stories, besides Skybound. But he's not out for revenge, and he is constantly battling with his identity. And that's precisely why his growth became so significant, why his journey is more important, but no less important than the others. Jay isn't just another sidekick or a comedic relief character. Without him, the team would honestly be far less balanced. His ability to relate to others, show care and sacrifice for those he loves, it's just what not makes him a side character, but a pivotal part of Ninjago's dynamic. When you step back and look at everything Jay has been through, from his struggles with his powers and his family, to his journey through self-acceptance and overcoming his fears, it's clear that he's not the weakest link, and people pretend like he is. If anything, Jay is the unsung hero in a lot of ways that emotional depth make him one of the most relatable and well-rounded ninja in the series. In the end, Jay's story is a reminder that strength isn't just about physical power. It's about how you handle your adversity and how you can care for others and how you can find the way when the path seems unclear. His emotional resilience and growth make him one of the most important figures in Ninjago, and honestly, I think it's time we all give Jay Walker the credit he deserves. After all, sometimes the biggest strength lies in the ability to keep going no matter what life throws at you. And Jay does just that every time. Jay Walker isn't just the lightning ninja. He's the heart of the team, the one who breaks and rebuilds time and time again. If I know anything about Ninjago, it's about unity, resilience, and destiny. And Jay Walker is its emotional core. And truthfully, I can't give myself all the credit here. Well, yes, I did analyze all of this by myself. I don't think I could have done this without all the media I have consumed and the endless hours scrolling on Tumblr and TikTok about Ninjago is just the media I have absorbed and attained and just kept locked somewhere in there. And truly, while reading over my script, I had to change a good deal of it because, embarrassingly enough, I realized I had written about plots of fan fiction that I had read and not the actual story. So I had to go back and watch Ninjago. But really, if I truly had to say anything about my analysis, it's that truthfully, there's always more to say between his choice in words and his design choices, which honestly, they nail it every time. But the only complaint I have is about Jay becoming less ginger throughout the series. Like, yeah, I get it, he's growing up or whatever, but like, anyways. Truly, after writing a 10-page script, I didn't even realize I cared for Ninjago that much. but I guess I should have seen it coming through when I found something to cry about each season. But Ninjago, truthfully, is an absolute mess. Period.
Cyrus Borg's Borg Watch, but no Cyrus Borg!
We didn't win. We lost.
And I do think it's important, on the other hand, to find the good in every creation, piece of media, or art. And if I didn't stick around after the inconsistent lore and absolute mess of dialogue in the earlier seasons, I wouldn't have been able to analyze how deep this show can actually get, and the themes it can cover and the messages it can send, and honestly just how much it's been proved over the years. And I planned on sticking around for the next few seasons of Ninjago, Dragons Rising, and for the upcoming live-action movie that they won't release a date for. But remember,
Ninja never quit.
Ninja never quit.
Ninja never quit.
Ninja never quit.
Ninja never quit.